the situation they've been prepping for. He'll look to throw. Well, hold on to that football, young man. It's the first NFL touchdown catch for DJ Chark, as his guys have now moved out in front.
Although it's more commonplace now than at any other time in the NFL, it's still tough to think about throwing a rookie quarterback right into the fire week one. But guess what? He handled the fire awfully well and threw his first touchdown pass.
Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20, as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs.
Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts. Remember that when you got to circle a guy around, and here he goes? No more. You have to start, close to the ball. And when it's kicked, then you get to take off and go, so you can't build up your speed that way. Also, when you're returning it, remember those wedges that we used to say where guys would form together, 2 or 3 guys? No more of those. So it'd be a lot more man-on-man, one-on-one blocking. And also they have rules about where people have to be when the ball's kicked, where they have to be when the ball's caught. So to me, it's much more like a punt return than it is an actual kickoff return. So I'm eager to see if teams now take their punt returners, those nifty guys who make people miss in the open field, and make them the kickoff returners as well, because I think you can still get big plays in this area if you have the right people back there.
He got 29 yards that time. This quarterback now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here.
Let's go! What? 90!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On second down, here's Barkley, and he'll be brought down at about the 42. Miles Jack there to make the tackle. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Under 4 to play now. Clock running. 3rd down.
Let's go! Grand 38!
From the gun, Jones. He dumps it off to Barkley. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that's going to make it 4th down. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one, as it's good from 56 yards out. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. The Jags heading out on offense. Last year we said, Charles, one of these years it has to come together for the Jaguars, doesn't it? Well, guess what? It certainly did. They won double-digit games for the first time in 10 seasons, and they picked up 2 more wins in the playoffs before falling in that tough one to New England.
And they decided that on offense, they were going to be a team that knocked you off the ball and ran it. That's why they drafted Leonard Fournette out of LSU, and he gave them some toughness and an identity. Quarterback Blake Bortles, often criticized, but elevated his play in the playoffs, both with his legs and his arm. But the defense, that's where the big transition happened. Yannick Ngakoue coming off the edge. Calais Campbell, maybe the best player on the defensive line in the league last season. But Jalen Ramsey out at corner, he gives them their swagger, he gives them their look, and he gives them great play on the edge.
On second down, here's Fournette. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this timeout. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. They'll look to throw here. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Oliver. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
Here we go, here we go.
Now back to throw. Being chased out left. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Flushed out right. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. A little risky there when you roll out of that pocket right like he did. You complete the pass, but you don't get anything out of it.
But how many times have we seen when a quarterback exits out of the pocket, it doesn't matter if they go left or right, the defense loses its leverage, right? There's a little chaos back there, and receivers come open. Great discipline on that play. They didn't let that happen and held it to no gain. Well, there was pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
And now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively. As the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. On is Josh Lambo now for the Jaguar field goal. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. And Lambo will put this one through, and that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
That'll be taken in the end zone. Oh, it shifts past him. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. Golden Tate, his intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down. So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10.
Let's go! Brad 38!
Here's Jones to throw again. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Miles Jack. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making them sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Flex round!
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And they're going to sack him again. The 5th time they've gotten him today, and this one results in a safety. And Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll check in for the first time with the newest member of our Madden family, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. Look at the spin. And now running right through it. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
A reminder, 4 more games set to kick off later this afternoon. Chiefs, Chargers, Seahawks and the Broncos, Redskins and Cardinals, and then the Cowboys against the Panthers. And he stopped immediately there. Tackle made that time by Dalvin Tomlinson.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
A handoff to Fournette. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And they will finally stop him, but a great return. Gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Ohio! Ohio! Flex round! Flex round! Flex round!
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. A.J. Boye with a pick. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line. Maybe he telegraphed it a little bit right there. You've got a quarterback knowing that he's going against a rookie quarterback. He stepped in and picked it.
You think he had a great week of preparation, looking forward to this opportunity? And the second part of that is, when you're a young quarterback, you are going to stare down targets, but oftentimes your playbook hasn't expanded to give you full field reads as well. Makes it a little bit tougher for him. I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. The Jaguars on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. They're going to look to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the... Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain down to about the 33. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 1st down, Jacksonville. The passing game looking sharp on this drive for the Jags. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Man, it's a tough area in the field to try and run a draw play out of the gun. You know you're going to face a good push up front, and here they swallow him up for no gain.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. The offense going to stay on the field as they will line up and go for 2. He'll look to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers.
It's interesting that when it comes to two-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. New York set to take the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 47. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Trying to get the run game going. This is Fournette. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Looking back to Leonard Fournette's rookie campaign, over 1,000 yards rushing. And coming into the league, some people saw this kid as an ex-Adrian Peterson. What can we expect from him going forward?
I like the comparison because of the size, the strength, the speed. But I think he catches the ball better than Adrian Peterson. So I think they can up his utilization in the passing game. But what really impressed me was down the stretch in the divisional playoff game against Pittsburgh, hurt his ankle, left the game for a while, and came back and helped power his team to a big victory. Remember, he had some dings at LSU that kept him out of a few games. I thought that was a breakthrough for Leonard Fournette.
Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10.
Here we go. What?
Jones now on 1st and 10. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Let's go.
They'll run it again with Fournette. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Last year, the Jags had 18 rushing touchdowns, 9 by Fournette, and he's back there on 2nd and goal. They'll try and run forward with Fournette. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. Welcome back now here in East Rutherford. It's Jaguar football here, and they'll look to extend their lead as we begin quarter number 4. Second and goal from the 1. They come out here in the I.
Under.
They'll try to punch it in with Fournette. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Janoris Jenkins with good coverage that time as he was able to get in there and knock it away.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now Jones looking to throw on second down. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him? Either fellow receivers or offensive linemen. That makes that play a really nice timing play. And sometimes it can break big.
And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time.
Flex round! Flex round!
Jones throwing again on 2nd and 10. And now he'll tuck it and run. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down. The Giants on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Ohio! Ohio!
Operating from the gun. Jones. He's going to air one out. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Another wayward pass. Things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And Tate's got it. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
Flex round! Flex round!
On 1st and 10, Jones. And now here's another interception. Picked up by the linebacker, Miles Jack. There he goes, left side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a 4th quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. New York set to take the field. And following the pick 6, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this.
And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Telvin Smith in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack.
Flex round! Flex round! Check. Let's go! White 90! White 90! Cut!
Now Jones. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
This game just keeps evolving and changing, doesn't it? You got a tight end who can move around a lot, not necessarily using a big body on him. Sometimes you take a corner, a better cover guy, and put him on him and try and take him out of the game, as we've seen in this one.
You're exactly right. They've taken him out of the game. That was just his first catch. Big reason they're losing right now. Here's Jones to throw on 3rd down. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Here we go! White 90! White 90! Ohio! Ohio! Watch the twist! Watch the twist!
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. Andy Reid went for it, but it won't pan out. And my goodness, that means this next drive will begin 4 yards from the end zone already. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. Let's not forget, a year ago, this was a last-place team in their division in the National Football League. How quickly the fortunes can turn.
And somewhere, there's a former commissioner smiling down and looking, because parity was something he was looking for in this league, and it plays itself out year after year. Last to first is not something that's uncommon in the NFL.
Yeah, season ago, they didn't have one performance like this, but they put it all together in this ball game. And this Fournette territory here, and he's alone in the backfield on 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain on the play there, and they're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. Here's Fournette. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Turning into a really good performance on the road. Week 1, you're just hoping for that first win. It's tough to do it away from home, though, but they're looking strong.
It certainly is. Any road win in the NFL is a great road win. I mean, it just does not matter whether it's supposed to be tough or not. In this particular situation, how great will they feel leaving with a win on the road against a tough opponent?
A little work still to do, though. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And the Giants ready to come out now. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Open man right side is Ingram. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. They give him a gain of 37. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
It's a gain of 9 yards, and that'll make it 2nd and short.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat.
And my goodness, another interception. A.J. Boye with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he'd won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001 to throw 7 picks. And he will take this into enemy territory as he's out of bounds on the other side of midfield.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for the Jags, it's a fantastic start as they roll to a blowout victory here in the season opener. And they'll return home next week to take on the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.